Sit quietly for a moment and listen, not with your ears but with the stillness inside you. What you seek is not outside. It has never been outside. Yet you have been taught to beg, to plead, to wait, as if life were a gatekeeper deciding your worth. Tonight you will stop asking and start receiving. This is not a prayer. A prayer often comes from lack. It whispers, "I do not have." It trembles with doubt, waiting for permission. But what I share with you is different. It is a shift to realization so simple yet so powerful that it feels forbidden. Within you there is a silent field, a space untouched by fear, untouched by scarcity. In that space there is no not enough. There is only flow. Wealth, like water, moves toward openness. It avoids resistance. It avoids desperation. Most people block this flow without knowing. They chase money with fear in their hearts. They think harder effort will unlock it, but effort mixed with fear only tightens the door. The secret is this: you do not chase, you align. Tonight before you sleep, sit in stillness. Do not ask for money. Do not beg for change. Instead, feel as if it has already arrived, not in your hands but in your being. Feel the relief. Feel the quiet gratitude. Let your body relax as if the burden is already lifted. This feeling is the key, because the world responds not to your words but to your state. If you feel lack, you call more lack. If you feel abundance, you open the path for it. Now listen carefully, for this is where many turn away. Your mind will resist. It will say this is not real. It will bring doubts, fears, and old stories. Do not fight it. Simply watch it like clouds passing in the sky. You are not the voice, you are the awareness behind it. Even if it lasts only a minute, that minute plants a seed. And seeds, when undisturbed, grow in silence. Before you sleep, release control. Do not plan how the money will come. Do not question the timing. The moment you try to control the path, you create resistance again. Instead, trust the unseen movement of life. Sometimes what comes in 24 hours is not just money but an opening, a message, an opportunity, a shift that leads directly to what you seek. Do not overlook small signs. They are the language of the unseen. When you wake, carry the same stillness. Walk as if something has already changed. Speak as if your path is already unfolding. This quiet certainty is more powerful than 1,000 desperate wishes. Remember, this is not magic in the way you were told. It is the removal of inner barriers. It is the return to a natural state where giving and receiving are one continuous flow. You are not separate from abundance. You have only forgotten how to allow it. Stop begging. Start aligning. True abundance does not come from desperate prayers or begging. It comes from aligning your inner state with the feeling of already having what you seek. Many people spend their lives asking, pleading, and waiting as if they are standing outside a closed door, hoping someone inside will finally notice them and grant them what they desire. This way of living creates a silent suffering because every request carries a hidden message. I do not have. And the more this feeling is repeated, the deeper it becomes rooted within the mind and heart. What you must understand is that this approach keeps you trapped in a cycle of lack, no matter how sincere your words may be. To stop begging does not mean to stop caring or to stop desiring a better life. It means to change the direction of your energy. Instead of reaching outward with desperation, you begin to turn inward with awareness. You begin to recognize that what you seek is not controlled by distant forces judging your worth, but by the state you carry within yourself at every moment. This realization is subtle, yet it changes everything. When you align yourself, you are not forcing life to give you something. You are simply removing the inner resistance that has been blocking it all along. Think of it like a river. The water is always ready to flow, but if stones are placed in its path, the movement becomes slow and restricted. Your fears, your doubts, and your constant focus on what is missing are those stones. Alignment is the act of gently removing them, not through struggle, but through awareness. This is why chasing rarely works. When you chase something, you are unconsciously affirming that it is far from you. The more you run toward it, the more distant it feels. But when you align, you create a sense of closeness, as if what you desire is already part of your life. This feeling is not imagination in a weak sense. It is a powerful shift in perception that changes how you move, how you speak, and how you respond to opportunities. Alignment also brings a certain calmness. There is no urgency, no panic, no tightness in the chest. Instead, there is a quiet confidence, a knowing without needing proof. From this state, your actions become clearer and more effective because they are no longer driven by fear. So tonight, instead of asking again and again, simply become aware of what you are holding inside. Let go of the need to chase. Let go of the belief that you must convince life to give you something, and gently move into a state where you feel as if it is already yours. In that moment, you are no longer begging, you are allowing. Your feeling attracts your reality. Life responds to your emotional state, not your words. Feeling abundance opens the flow while feeling lack blocks it. What you feel within you is not just a passing experience, it is a signal, a quiet force that shapes how life responds to you. Many believe that words hold the greatest power, that repeating requests or affirmations will change their reality. But beneath every word there is a feeling, and it is this feeling that carries the true message. If your words say I have, but your heart feels I lack, life responds to the deeper truth, not the surface expression. Consider how often people think about money with tension. Even when they speak positively, there is a subtle worry underneath: questions about bills, doubts about timing, fear of not having enough. This emotional pattern becomes familiar, almost automatic. Over time, it creates a state of resistance, like a closed hand trying to receive something new. The flow cannot enter because the mind and body are not open to it. When you begin to understand that your feeling attracts your reality, everything changes. You realize that the goal is not to force positive thoughts, but to gently shift your inner state. This is not about pretending or lying to yourself. It is about choosing, even for a moment, to experience the feeling of ease, relief, and quiet abundance as if nothing is missing. This feeling does not need to be intense or dramatic. In fact, the most powerful states are often calm and subtle. Imagine the difference between someone who is desperate for money and someone who knows they have enough. The first is restless, constantly thinking and worrying. The second is relaxed, present, and steady. It is this second state that opens the path for more to come because it carries no resistance. Your body plays an important role in this. Notice how your chest feels when you are worried, tight, heavy, closed. Then notice how it feels when you imagine everything working out lighter, softer, more open. This physical shift is not just a sensation, it is a doorway. When your body relaxes, your mind follows, and the signal you send to life becomes clear and aligned. At first, your mind may question this process. It may say, how can feeling something change reality? But you do not need to argue with these thoughts. Simply observe them and return to the feeling you wish to cultivate. With practice, this becomes easier, and the new state begins to feel natural. As you continue, you will notice small changes, unexpected opportunities, smoother interactions, ideas that seem to arrive at the right time. These are not coincidences. They are reflections of the shift within you. When your inner world changes, your outer world begins to respond in ways you once thought were impossible. Stillness is the gateway. By sitting in silence and calming the mind, you access a deeper state where fear and scarcity disappear, allowing natural flow to begin. Stillness is often misunderstood. Many think it means doing nothing, sitting in silence without purpose, or withdrawing from the world. But true stillness is not emptiness, it is awareness without noise. It is a state where the constant chatter of the mind softens and something deeper begins to emerge. In your daily life, your mind is rarely quiet. It moves from one thought to another, carrying worries about the future, regrets from the past, and endless questions about what might go wrong. This constant movement creates inner tension, and within that tension, clarity cannot exist. When the mind is restless, it blocks your ability to see opportunities, to feel guidance, and to act with confidence. When you sit quietly, even for a few minutes, and allow your thoughts to pass without holding on to them, you begin to create space within yourself. This space is powerful. It is not filled with fear or lack, but with presence. And in this presence, something shifts. You are no longer reacting, you are simply observing. This is where the gateway opens. In stillness, your awareness becomes sharper. You start to notice things you once ignored, subtle ideas, intuitive nudges, moments of clarity that seem to arise from nowhere. These are not random. You've always been there, but the noise of your thoughts was too loud to hear them. Stillness also softens your emotional state. The tightness in your chest begins to loosen, your breath becomes deeper, and your body relaxes. This relaxation is important because it allows you to move from a state of resistance to a state of openness. You do not need hours of meditation to experience this. Even a short moment of true stillness can begin to shift your energy. The key is consistency and sincerity, not duration. When you return to stillness again and again, it becomes easier to access. And from this calm, clear state, your actions naturally align with what you seek without force or struggle. Release control and trust the process. Trying to control how and when money comes creates resistance. Trusting the unseen process allows opportunities to unfold naturally. One of the greatest obstacles people create for themselves is the need to control every detail of how life unfolds. The mind constantly tries to predict outcomes, plan every step, and ensure that nothing goes wrong. While this may seem wise on the surface, it often creates a hidden tension, a tight grip that blocks the very flow you are trying to invite. When it comes to receiving wealth or opportunities, this need for control becomes even stronger. You may find yourself asking, where will it come from? When will it arrive? What exact path will lead me there? These questions seem practical, but they are often rooted in doubt. They imply that if you do not figure everything out, nothing will happen. This belief quietly closes the door to unexpected possibilities. To release control does not mean to become careless or passive. It means to loosen the grip of fear that insists everything must happen in a specific way. Life does not always follow the paths you imagine. In fact, the most meaningful opportunities often arrive through routes you could never have predicted. When you try to control the process too tightly, you limit the ways in which abundance can reach you. Trust is the opposite of this tight control. It is a quiet inner knowing that something is already in motion, even if you cannot yet see it. This trust is not blind belief, it is a calm acceptance that life is capable of organizing outcomes beyond your current understanding. When you trust, your body relaxes, your thoughts become lighter, and your actions feel more natural. Think of it like planting a seed. Once the seed is placed in the soil, you do not dig it up every hour to check if it is growing. You do not demand that it sprout by morning. You simply provide the right conditions, water, space, and time, and allow nature to do its work. In the same way, when you set an intention and align your inner state, your role is not to force the result, but to allow it to unfold. Releasing control also frees your attention. Instead of being trapped in worry about the future, you become more present. And in this presence, you are better able to notice opportunities, take meaningful action, and respond wisely to what appears in front of you. When you stop trying to control every step, you create space for something greater to guide the process. And often what arrives is not only what you asked for, but something even better, shaped by possibilities you could not have imagined. Small shifts create big results. Even a brief moment of true belief and inner alignment can plant a powerful seed that begins to transform your reality quickly. It is easy to overlook small moments, small shifts, and small changes within yourself because the mind is often searching for something dramatic. It wants instant transformation, visible proof, and undeniable results. But life rarely moves in sudden, overwhelming leaps. Instead, it unfolds quietly through subtle changes that build upon each other over time. A single moment of true inner alignment may seem insignificant. It may last only a few seconds, a brief feeling of calm, a quiet sense that everything is okay, or a gentle belief that what you need is already on its way. The mind may quickly dismiss this, saying, "This is not enough." But what the mind does not see is that this moment has already begun to shift something deep within you. Every time you experience this state, even briefly, you are planting a seed. And like all seeds, it does not grow instantly in front of your eyes. It settles beneath the surface in silence, beyond your constant observation. If you keep digging it up with doubt, questioning whether it is working, you disturb its natural growth. But if you allow it to rest, it begins to take root. These small shifts start to influence how you think, how you feel, and how you act. You may notice that you react differently to situations that once caused stress. You may feel slightly more patient, slightly more open, slightly less fearful. These are not minor changes, they are signs that your inner state is evolving. As this continues, your outer world begins to reflect these changes. Opportunities may appear in unexpected ways. Conversations may lead to new paths. Ideas may come to you with clarity and ease. At first, these may seem like coincidences, but they are connected to the shift happening within you. The key is not to underestimate the power of these small moments. Transformation does not require perfection or constant effort. It requires consistency and trust. Even if you align yourself for just a minute each day, that minute has value. It adds to the previous one, creating a quiet momentum that grows stronger over time. Be patient with this process. Do not rush it or measure it too quickly. Just as a tree does not grow overnight, your results will unfold in their own time. What matters is that you continue to return to that inner state again and again. In the end, it is not one grand action that changes everything. It is the accumulation of small, sincere shifts that gently reshape your reality from within.